Barbara Nicolato, Knickknacks here. Welcome to part 2 of my lovely card box tutorial, where we will construct the box with a drawer to complement our lovely easel card made in part 1. To make the box itself, I wanted some very sturdy paper, so I chose this watercolor paper because it's 140 pounds and it is quite large. I ended up using 4 sheets of this paper to construct the box. However, I did have ends and pieces left over that could be made into cards, bookmarkers, or what have you. It's not wasted. So, let's start. For the top and bottom of the box, I cut 2 sheets, 5 7/8 square, and here they are. Then, I needed for the foundation of the box 2 sheets at 7 by 8.5 inches. We will be scoring them 1.5 inch on 3 sides, and it does matter what side they get scored on. 1 score will be on the long side, and 2 scores will be on the shorter side. Then we need a sheet for the drawer itself, and that's 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 inches. And this will be scored at 1 3/8 inches on all 4 sides. I'm going to start with the drawer first. And this is just on a sheet of printer paper to show you. I'm scoring 1 3/8 on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to cut in where these red marks are. But I'm going to cut in at a little angle so that I form a small notch. And that's going to make it easier to fold. There is a proper way to cut when you have a score line. And if you're cutting it, you want to cut so that you are cutting at the side of the score line so that you're going to eliminate the score line. So there should be no indentation on the part here at all. And I'll point that out again when I do this with you. So take your score pal, score buddy, or whatever it is that you use to score. And we're starting with the 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 sheet. And we're going to score at 1 3/8 inches. Whoops. 1 3/8 inches on all 4 sides. There we go. I have 2 of these, and this side is 7 inches. This top side is 8.5 inches. I'm going to put it in at the 8.5 inch side, and I'm going to score 1.5 inches on the shorter side, 1.5 inches on the other short side, and 1.5 inches on the longer side. Make sure you do that to both of your sheets. These 2 do not have to be scored at all, so we'll put them aside. Now, what we're going to do here is, let me show you. We're going to cut in. We're not going to cut any of these tabs off. We're going to cut in and form notches on these two sides, and then we're going to turn it over and do the same. Now, I told you before that there is a way that we're going to cut the notches, and let me see here. So I'm going to keep my scissor along this side of the notch. Actually, and then, as you can see, possibly see, the score line right here is going to be completely cut out. I'm only taking a little bit off. Let's get rid of that. And there I go. I'm going to do the same on this side. So let's put this drawer together. There is actually a way to fold along the score lines. Here, we actually made the score. We indented it right there. You do not fold it this way. You turn it over, and this is where the score line is like a mountain here. It pops up. This is where you fold. So I'm going to fold in my sides, and I'm going to crease it with my bone folder. And we're going to put glue on these tabs and glue them in. By creating those little notches like we did, these little tabs don't stick out, and all the corners are formed nice and square. One of these is going to be the top of the box foundation, and one of these is going to be the bottom of the box foundation. So I'm going to fold these in. And I'm going to cut out those two squares, this one and this one down here. As I cut it out, I'm going to cut to the side of the folded score line so that it's not visible. There. I've cut out completely the score line. You don't see it here. Okay. And I'm going to do the same to the bottom. This bone folder that I'm using makes a very nice crease, and it makes it look very neat. Again, I'm going to cut that score line out completely. And now we'll take a moment and put this together. This is going to become the foundation of the box. Okay, so here's how I'm going to position the bottom foundation. And the top foundation is going to be positioned right over it. Like so. And we're going to leave one side open, and that's where the drawer will be. So I'm going to use my glue and apply it to the 3 tabs of the box foundation. And then I'm going to put these 2 pieces into position. First, I'm going to make sure that the sides are adhered. And then I'm going to carefully place down the 3rd tab or side. I made sure all the corners were securely glued, and then I used my ruler to apply a little pressure. And there's the box foundation. And the drawer will fit in here. But this all has to be strengthened. We're not done yet. These 2 pieces, 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, are going to become the top and the bottom of the box. All right, and we're going to set those aside to dry. And we're going to cut sheets to decorate the box, the sides, and the drawer. Well, to decorate the box, I cut out 2 squares, one 5 3/4, and that'll be the top of the box, one 5 1/4 square, and that'll be inside the drawer. Then to decorate the side panels, I cut out 7 strips that were 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. 7 of these, which are 1 1/8 by 5 1/8. And these fit right onto here. And then 7 of these. And this was the paper that we created in part 1 for the easel card. So these strips were all cut from the remnants of the papers that I cut for the card. This, I believe I needed a new sheet to cut these. So the first thing we're going to do is take a moment and we're going to put these 7 strips together. And this is the order we're going to do them. One of the pinks or the reds, one of the blues, and one of our decorative sheet. Like so. I'm using my art glitter Designer Dries Clear adhesive. I really like that glue, and the tip makes me able to make a very fine bead of glue when necessary. If you prefer to use double stick tape runner, go right ahead and do that. Whatever you prefer. I'm going to pause the tape, and I'm going to do all 7 of these. Okay, I hope you've had a chance to get all your panels together. And there's 7 of them. One I've already put on the side of my foundation. And I've decided that I'm going to use my adhesive tape runner to affix the rest of these. And because we used 140-pound watercolor paper, this is substantial. It's a substantial weight. So we've got that there. And now we're going to take the 2 squares that we also cut out of watercolor paper, and this will become the top of the box. Okay. And I'm going to affix that. And that's going to be adhered to the top. As you can see, it forms a lip all around the box. So when I put my tape runner on, I'm going to make sure I leave a little bit of a margin there. And now we're going to fix the bottom the same way we did the top. We're going to leave a little bit of margin with the adhesive tape and center that. It will have a little lip hanging off the side of the foundation. Now we're going to take our drawer, and this square is going to be affixed to the inside I'm going to keep those tabs on the front and on the back so that when you look at the box, you're not going to see the seam. The seam will be, I don't know, it looks better. Oh dear. It's about 1:15 a.m. here in New York, and I got my second wind and started doing this and couldn't stop. So here I am in the wee hours of the morning trying to get this project finished. So with these four, we're going to affix them on the sides of the box. However, well, let me do the first one, and then I'll show you what I found at the local craft store to use as a pull for the box. I found a pack of these. Tim Holtz Ideology. They're called ring fasteners. So I'm going to carefully find the middle. So there we go. Now, I'm going to take the card that I made in part 1. I've added a little stamp here and glossed it a little. And I'm going to affix that right to the top of the box. Now, isn't that a beautiful little gift for someone? Not only do you have a card, an easel card, but you have a drawer that you could put a little gift in. And I'll tell you what I put in one that fit beautifully. I love these Necco wafer candies. They've been around for a century or more. They fit perfectly in here. 5 of them, as a matter of fact. So if anybody likes these candies for Valentine's Day, you could probably find them at the dollar store. And there you have it, our easel card. If you'd like to add a sentiment rather than add it on here, like your signature or something, you could always cut out, die cut, or just cut with a paper cutter, a rectangle here, and you can to from whoever's going to receive this. The card. I just love this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed making this with me. And if you've liked it, please hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. A list of the supplies I've used in this video can be found below the video. Most of the supplies are available at delbellosdesigns.com. I hope you visit us there. We also have 2 Facebook groups. If you haven't joined, please consider doing so. A quick way could be to scan this QR code with your mobile phone. Thanks for joining us.